so good to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I was smiling the whole way over here. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I was excited.
For people who may not know you or your story, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Nikel. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida, and I relocated to Pine Bluff 2 years ago. And I always get the question, why would you move from Florida to Arkansas, let alone Pine Bluff? So I guess that'll be part of the story that I'll tell as well. Me and my family, when we lived in Jacksonville, Florida, we enjoyed it. We're from there originally, but we kind of was outgrowing the big city, and we wanted to be somewhere where we can actually hear our thoughts and figure out who we were as people. So I started looking for more rural areas, but that had like a Black audience so that I can expand my business. And I ran across Pine Bluff and Angie. And when I did, it was very informative because your point of view of Pine Bluff versus other people's point of view was very, very different. And to me, honestly, it didn't scare me about the bad things that I heard, because I felt like what could possibly be worse than where we are now. But I love it here.
Awesome. And so are you saying that Jacksonville kind of has some of the same challenges that Pine Bluff has?
Yeah, so the drug epidemic in Jacksonville is very, very bad. The crime, they're the murder capital of Florida, so it's very scary. I lost my brother in 2016 due to gun violence, and from that point, I just knew that that's not a place that I wanted to continue to call home. Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that about your brother.
Yes.
Sometimes when
and my apologies, 2014. Let me clear that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's still kind of recent.
Yes.
Even if it was a long time ago, it would still affect you the same.
10 years yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And, sometimes when I advocate for the community to kind of like restore what we can, there are a lot of people who may have had similar experiences right here in Pine Bluff.
Right.
So what makes you want to take a chance on Pine Bluff, even though there are some similarities?
Because honestly, I feel like when you're surrounded by things, it is really what you make of it. You can't really escape some of the challenges that life present. But I feel like when you're in a new set and you have the opportunity to kind of write your own picture of life, versus being around people that know you, grew up with you, that know everything about you or think that they know everything about you, it's just better to be somewhere else for me and experience something new. Pine Bluff in itself, I think that it differs from where I'm from because the community is smaller. Okay. So when something is going on, you're more aware versus a big city. You're kind of in the blind about it. So I can do something about something versus just waiting and a problem occur and you can't do anything.
Right. I'm from a community that isn't like Pine Bluff and probably not like Jacksonville. Right. But I agree with you 100%. As Pine Bluff is smaller and the community, I feel like, is a little bit more engaged than places that I'm used to. Yep. Even the challenges present an opportunity for people to do something about them.
Quick.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And so maybe tell us like some of your initial thoughts, the pros and the cons. Like, I want you to keep it all the way real with me. Okay. So that when I try to get more Nikels, I know exactly, what they might face.
Well, I'm a very rare person, so I'm going to be transparent.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the kids' point of view and mine.
Right.
When I first came here, I'm like, okay, where am I supposed to eat at? Where's the meat markets? Where's the produce stands? Where's the diversity? Because I knew it was going to be a Black community, but I didn't know that it was going to be predominantly Black. So it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like, I guess, home. Okay. And you can't go somewhere expecting home. Okay. Like, you have to be open to a whole different perspective of life because it's totally different from what you're used to. But when I came here and I saw the trees everywhere, I'm like, it's beautiful. But my kids was like, what's that smell? I'm like, well, it's just a smell we're going to have to get used to, y'all. The people, it took a lot of adjusting for me to kind of get used to some of the people. I'm not going to say that they're mean, but a lot of people are mostly set in their ways because they're used to what they're used to. Mm-hmm. And you're a new face coming around and you're doing something. So they're going to want to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, why you here, what made you come here. So you're going to get questioned a lot. And I don't think it's something that you should take into offense.
Right.
But you should definitely have the answers to those questions because they're going to want to know.
Would you say that, like you said, there's such a heavy stigma about Pine Bluff?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel like the community has almost internalized that. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes if you see Pine Bluff in a better light, they're almost looking at you like, what is wrong with you?
Yes. Yes, that's true. But what I tell them is at this point, I'm speaking from personal experience.
Right.
It doesn't matter if the city is small. If you come with the idea of you're going to be something, you got an idea of something that you want to do. If you stand on it and people see that you are adamant about what you're doing, they're going to be just as adamant as you. Thanks. But you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You can't come to Pine Bluff half-stepping thinking they just going to give you something, because they're not going to just give you something at all. They're not just going to say, oh, you knew, yes, I'm going. No.
Right.
You knew they're going to put you to a challenge and see what you really have for real. And it's not a bad thing, because it's going to push you to your best.
Facts. Pine Bluff has made me better. Like, on any talent that I may have had before I came here, like you said, you had to work to get them to see it. So that just makes you even better at what you do.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So I embrace that.
Okay. Are there any more challenges, like things that maybe you wish you had known before you came here? Challenges?
Like I said, the culture is different. So when my son went to school and he told me he wanted to get his hair in globs, which they call wigs here.
Okay.
So I was happy for him. I'm like, okay. But when I put it in his hair and he went to school, he was like, Mom, everybody was talking about my hair and it was like, my hair is big. And I'm like, well, you have to understand this is a whole different side from where we're from, and it's okay for you to be different. Right. So even though they're used to what they're used to, you can put something different on them and expose them to something new that they didn't know that they like. Right. So I have to continue to tell my kids to keep being themselves, because a lot of people that's here may not get exposed to people like them ever in life.
Right. That's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. So your living situation, a lot of times people are very concerned about the safety. And, again, not being from a community like Pine Bluff, sometimes that's something I might be like, oh, it's not that bad. But if you've experienced that, it really is. Right. And so what's your thoughts on that? So
I live on the east side. And I heard some things about the east side when I moved on the east side. But to be honest, the east side back home is the worst community. Mm. I wouldn't drive over there. I wouldn't recommend anybody to drive over there. So when I found out I was living on the east side, I got nervous. Mm. I was scared. But when I looked around the neighborhood, I'm like, this is a pretty established neighborhood. Like, all of my neighbors are older. Everybody looks out for one another on the street. So I realized, like, maybe the east side used to be something that I wasn't exposed to, but I like the east side now.
Okay, that's what's up. It's
good for me.
Yes. And I don't mean to pry, but are your kids in the school in Pine Bluff?
Yes, they are.
Okay, what do you think about their education?
So their education is going well. My son does make AB honor roll, which is something different because he has an IEP.
Oh, wow.
And I know a lot of kids, struggle with different learning disabilities, but my son is getting the help that he needs. Okay. And I definitely greatly appreciate that a lot. I checked my mailbox and I had a letter in there from the county, and it was saying that I had to pay taxes. And I'm like, what am I paying taxes for? I've already paid taxes on everything I need to pay. And it was for my car. And I'm like, I don't even own my car.
Wow.
Yes, so that was something totally new for me. But then when I looked at the breakdown, it says that the money is going to the schools, the roads, the firefighters.
Right.
I definitely read the breakdown, and I'm like, well, that makes me feel better about it. But if you're coming here, just make sure you look up the laws. I definitely recommend people to look up the laws before you move in a new area. Yeah. And the taxes that you'll be paying, because they're different.
And I read somewhere, I haven't verified this, but I read somewhere that Pine Bluff is one of the most heavily taxed cities in Arkansas.
I can go for it.
Okay.
I've never paid so many taxes going to get a Happy Meal in my life.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And you know, what's unfortunate though is that because there's been such a sharp population decline, I think that Pine Bluff has to overcompensate in order to keep things running.
Wow.
And so even just being here, you know, you're contributing to that pie, but it probably doesn't feel good in the moment.
It felt good after I read it, and I'm like, okay, I understand. But whoa, that bites. That bites.
Okay. So I guess now let's get into some of the good things, and also let's get into some of the good things.
Okay. So the good thing about Pine Bluff is once you have proven yourself, because you do have to do that, I'm sorry to say, once you have proven yourself to the community and the people that's around, you open up yourself to a whole different type of ball game. Since I've been in Pine Bluff, I've serviced over 300 clients.
Wow.
Yes.
I haven't even serviced that many.
Yes.
You're doing it, girl.
I've serviced over 300 clients, and I've had over 1,200 appointments.
Wow.
And that's within 2 years time frame.
Wow.
So to me, that is something to be grateful for, proud of. So I'm definitely proud of myself. Another good thing about Pine Bluff is you have the opportunity to live life and kind of be like financially free. So
yes.
If you are good at saving money, even if you aren't good at saving money, there's no way that you cannot come up in Pine Bluff.
Right.
Like if you have even just a little bit of hustle in you,
man,
you will be all right.
Man.
The cost of living is affordable, so you'll be able to afford to live, travel the world. So there's a lot of great benefits. The kids, being that the community is small, you're able to know your neighbors. So the kids are free to go outside and do kid stuff that they weren't able to do at home. So I enjoy saying, go outside, go play.
Yeah. Watch out for the mosquitoes in the summer,
That's
though.
it. Don't run in the street. That's it. So I enjoy that a lot.
And you said that your house here, for the price that you pay, is bigger, right?
Yes, it's way bigger than what we were paying. $1,300 a month, and we had a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, which is the same as what we have now. So essentially we're saving like $400, almost $500 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
yes.
even though it was still 3-bed, 2-bath, that's what you said?
Yeah, it's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
The square footage, was it the same?
No, the square footage isn't the same. It's a little bit smaller here.
Okay.
But it's not like a big lose at all.
Right.
I mean, if you want me to be transparent, the house I was living in was a little bit more upgraded than the house that I'm in now. But to be honest, it felt like how it was when I was growing up in my grandma's house sometimes. So it's not really like a bad house to me.
Especially when you factor in the difference in the cost.
It's beautiful. It's home. Shoot.
I know that's right.
So I love it.
Okay. And so I heard you say like there's not as many food places and things like that. But I see that you travel a lot.
I sure do.
Yeah.
I go get me something.
Yeah. And that's something that you can do when you don't have to pay so much in your living.
That's true. You can kind of enjoy seeing the outdoors more. You don't have to be so cultivated to be inside and in one neighborhood. When I stayed in Florida, I didn't go visit other cities in Florida because the part I lived in was already big enough.
Yeah.
But because I live here, we've been to Hot Springs, we've been to Jacksonville, we've been to Conway. I even made the doctor's office out there just so we can have something to do.
Yeah.
So it's very beneficial if you want to just travel and spend time with your family.
Yeah.
Which is what life is about, love and family.
Right.
Yeah.
And then even like to go to Little Rock. My husband, he's from Chicago. Yeah. And I feel like when we're in Chicago, the time that it would take us to go from where we normally stay to get to the main part is the same amount of time it takes us to go to Little Rock. Yeah. So, and then on top of that, it's cheaper. And then like you said, we don't have to worry about that hustle and bustle. No. So I just feel like there is a give and take, but I'm glad that you're sharing like how you can see, how to make it work. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because to be honest, if you're a person that want change, then it'll be okay to go somewhere and kind of adjust to a new setting, and whatever you don't like, you can just not either deal with it or either make some adjustments to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I'm an activist, and I don't like to assume that everybody is. Would you say that you are?
Yes, I am. In my community back home, what me and my family used to do is cleanups. So I would contact the city, and they would provide the clampers to pick the trash up off the ground, the blue bags to pick them up, and me and my family would go out and clean the community and invite whoever would want to come out to do it every 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I advocated and gave back to my community, by going back and cleaning up.
Yeah.
And having my kids to do it as well, because I want them to know that just because, you know, just because you live in this community and you see people throw trash on the ground don't mean you have to do the same.
Right.
It's okay for you to pick up other people's trash, because when you see people pull up in this neighborhood, it's a representation of you too.
Right.
Yeah.
So true. And so being an activist, you know, seeing so many Black people in a community, how does that make you feel?
It is very enlightening, but the only thing about it is I just wish more of them had the same mindset as us.
Yes, that's so true.
And that's the only part that saddens me, because you can have a town full of us, but there's only a few dreamers. And they can't crush my dream. I'm pretty sure they can't crush your dream. But we can't make them believe a dream that they don't see.
That's so true.
And that's the hard part about it, because we need them.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
The city, and not even just Pine Bluff, places like Jacksonville, places like Chicago, Detroit, they need their citizens to be all hands on deck.
That's
and so this is the only community with the demographics that I've ever experienced. But you have Jacksonville as well. What are some tactics you think that would help people to believe in their cities again?
Honestly, they have to see people like them doing things. Personally, I haven't always been a person that want to do good for my community, because I felt like everybody else that was in it. But I feel like if people see people similar to them that's doing things and want to change things, that they'll follow along too.
Okay.
And it's better to gravitate to the youth, because sometimes they have their mind made up, but most of the time they just don't know no better, because they don't have anyone teaching them better.
Yeah.
And I know my kids listen to other people better than they'll listen to me, so I try to talk to at least my younger clients when they come along and speak positivity in them, let them know they can do whatever they want to do. Yeah. So, yeah.
So you did come here with someone else.
Yeah, I did.
And they decided
to move back.
Okay.
Yeah, only because the setting isn't meant for everyone. She felt like the community wasn't as welcoming, like they were a bit mean. And where we're from, I wouldn't say it's like Southern hospitality. You could be in a store and have a full-fledged conversation with somebody because you're waiting in line. And here, you won't get that same energy.
Yeah.
But you can't expect for everybody to be happy, because sometimes people don't have a reason to be happy.
Yes.
So I came here and I put my best foot forward and realized that I'm not here to make people happy. I'm just here to attract the people that's meant to attract me.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad you said that, because I really struggle with that. Like, I feel like I'm on what you're on. Like, let me stack this bread.
I'm telling you.
It's so cheap here. My people are here. So it's like, even just by paying taxes, I'm helping the community.
Yeah.
And I be thinking like, everybody should think this way, but they don't. And I have to respect that everyone has their own, mindset. Call. Yeah. But, Nikel, knowing that the challenges that we have do need all hands on deck, and they do need those extra tax dollars, what do you think is going to take to kind of reverse that population decline?
The people have to be more welcoming in the community, and they have to be accepting to change, because even when I was doing my personal business, going to places to switch things over, and I was biased to a lot of the stuff. Like I said, I didn't even know about the taxes. They will make you feel a little bit slow asking some of the questions, because they're not used to new people coming around, so they expect for you to already know the questions that you're asking.
So true.
So, and that's the part that made me a little upset, because I'm like, I'm not being dumbfounded about the situation. I don't know.
Right.
So that's one thing that is different. You have to make sure you do your research, because if you don't want to be looked at a little sideways, then that's something that you'll want to do. But if the people are more welcoming to change and more welcoming to other people coming here, I think it'll be a little bit more helpful, because we're not asking for much. We just want to handle our business. Good morning. We just want to handle our business and conduct the business here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just more support. When we go into the establishments, it wouldn't hurt to see a smiling face behind the register. When you ask for help, it wouldn't hurt, to get the assistance you need without somebody pointing over in a direction and saying, oh, it's over there. Yeah. It's like the customer service here lacks an area, and I think that it's that way because they know that their jobs can't be took by someone. Mm. Yeah.
A little bit almost like sometimes we want more in Pine Bluff, but we don't acknowledge the part that we play in bringing that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's true. So it's like, even though people might pass through here and they might see an opportunity for themselves, once they interact with some of the people here, they might change their mind.
Well.
Yeah, but you have to have a strong mind and just want what you want, and not say bump the people, but
focus on what you got.
Focus on yourself.
Hey, that's what I do too, because I know exactly what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But for me, because I care so much about what it will take for us to move forward at any, what does Malcolm X say? By any means.
By any means.
I have a little bit of grace with people because I feel like for decades they've been told this city's trash. There's no hope for this city. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like it's almost reasonable for me that they would act that way to other people, because they almost maybe might feel like, well, I'm just here so I can get a check. I don't care nothing about this city.
That's it.
And so I think it would be hard for them to be happy with other people.
That's true.
Yeah.
I can go for that.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like, I don't know if this is going to step on some toes, but it's okay. Some toes might need to be stepped on. We got to be honest, yeah. Yes. I feel like the people that are right there across the street, if they put more into the community and kind of figure out what they need directly, then things will be a lot better here, because when I went in there to handle some business myself, it was hard to get help because they're not educated in their job roles. And that was kind of difficult for me, because if I'm saying that I need a certain service and y'all aren't able to accommodate me, then who do I go to for the help?
Yeah.
So I feel like the city workers need more training themselves.
Okay.
And I think that will help a lot of stuff. If they start from the top, then that will definitely help the bottom.
Yeah. One thing I really like about your energy, again, I'm on the same thing. Like, I hate that things aren't where they should be and where they need to be, but me, I'm gonna get it anyway,
regardless.
And so, if a person has that mindset, what are some things you would tell them that they need to, have mental tools so that they can win regardless?
To be honest, I get up every morning and I pray first. You gotta give praise to God, and you gotta thank Him for an opportunity to be able to do what you do another day.
Amen.
Because what we have are skills. A lot of people don't have skills like we have to be able to just get up and believe in themselves and go off of that. They have to get in and punch a clock.
Yeah.
So for people who are self-motivators like us, I just would encourage them to keep going, believing in yourself, believing in God. Don't let nobody tell you that your dream is not possible, because only you can see what's meant for you. And that's really it. Just keep pushing through the challenges, and no matter where you are in life, you're going to get what's supposed to be for you.
Do you have any tactics, like when you feel discouraged or when you feel down?
When I feel discouraged, honestly, I am a clown. So I will go and watch me some funny videos, or I'll get my kids and let them dance. Yeah. Because nothing is more joyful to me than my family. So long as I got them, I'm all right.
Yeah. I know that's right.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me, a lot of people here feel like they don't have support.
Yeah.
And my tactic is kind of similar. Man, I'll go on YouTube so quick, find me a motivational video. Like, in the 21st century, there's a way around everything.
There is a way. You're going to find somebody that's going through the same thing as you.
Yep.
Or worse. And that just makes you feel like, whoo, I was just tripping about this. And let me just feel better about my problems.
So I'm hearing faith, which I agree. Yes. If I did not have faith, I could not be in Pine Bluff.
Me either.
But I know that it's important, and God always gives me the strength to keep going.
I'm telling you.
So faith, believing in yourself, which same here. What other things would you say you
family.
need to have? Family.
I wouldn't be as far as I would without them. My passion for my craft.
That's so
I wouldn't be able to stop doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't care what nobody said. They could say, she can't do hair. Oh, well. The clients that sit in my chair think I do the best hair in town. You know, so it's all about believing in you. Get up in the morning, listen to your favorite music, do whatever motivates you in the morning to start your day off good, because when you're dealing with people, you want to make sure that no matter how your day is going, that you make their day good, because they didn't do nothing to you. And you got to realize when people is not the problem, you don't want to put your problems on them.
Right.
And when people come sit in my chair, a lot of times they sit here because I bring them a little bit of peace, or they able to vent to me. I close that door and they can say whatever they want to say and they won't get past here. Right. So my job, to me, I feel like I'm more than just a loctician. I'm a friend. I'm a comforter. I'm their counselor, and they're mine too, because I can talk to them and it don't get far either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So putting passion in your craft.
Putting passion in your craft and loving who love you.
Ooh,
don't go no further than that.
Good.
Yeah, don't go no further. You can't go pouring into people's cups and then they leave yours empty.
Yeah.
I only deal with who deal with me.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, if you focus on all the people that's not pouring into you, you're continuously draining yourself.
Yes.
But if you're thankful for the people who do show you love, you find yourself able to go a little bit further.
You're gonna go further. They're gonna go far.
Yeah.
Because y'all continually building each other up, and if you don't have nobody building you up, then they have no space in your life.
Yeah. So what would you say it's important to make sure you're filling your cup and dealing with people who do love you? But some people, like you said, don't even have anything to give. So what do we do with those people? Well,
the people who don't have nothing to give, long as they have a heart and compassion, that's enough. That's enough to give somebody.
What about the people who don't have heart and compassion, but they just been through so much?
Well, sometimes those people, we have to pray for them. Yeah. Because some people that don't have anything, they'll drag you for everything that you have. You just got to see where they at in their life, because sometimes people are so far gone, you can't fix them.
Yeah.
And we can't fix everything. We can't fix everybody. Right. So you just got to know the demon that you're battling. Some people you can fix, and when you can fix them, you offer whatever you can to help them. And if you're helping them more than they're helping themselves, then you have to leave them alone.
That's so true.
So you just have to know who to help and when to help them. There's nothing wrong with it, though.
Do you think that you've influenced anyone here to see themselves or their city in a better light?
Yes. I have a client. She lives in Monticello.
Okay.
She wasn't, really doing locks or anything like that. But I, taught her a little bit of what I know and encouraged her. And that's something that she do part-time. Good. And, of course, that helped her and her family financially. Yes. So that made me feel good. And I always open my space to anybody that wants to learn, because I feel like if you have a skill, and you should be able to teach it to at least somebody, to let them have a skill. Because I went to college. I dropped out of college because school wasn't for me. Right. But I knew that I had a gift, and I knew that was something that would be able to carry me through life. That's right. I love it. Because, college isn't for everybody. No, it's not. And that doesn't mean that they can't be successful. Correct. Because some people didn't have a degree and make way more money than people that ever went to school. That's true. That's true. How do you enjoy being my client parent? Right.
But when I initially started my locks, I was going to another lady. She was doing great, but I know that I just wanted a little bit more. So one day I was in my granny's shop, and the lady came in. She was like, "Who do your hair?" And I let her know. I was like, I see that your locks, they look beautiful. I aspire to have locks like that. Like, everybody have their own lock journey. It's different, but she had some of the same type of texture here that I had, and the style that she had 2-strand twists. I love me some 2-strand twists. I was like, your parts look real clean, nice and neat. I was like, somebody that did your hair, they took their time, they was passionate about it. She was like, I'm gonna give you her info. So I was like, okay. And she wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I searched high and low for that piece of paper because I could have swore I lost it. I looked somewhere everywhere. When I found that paper, it had Nikel's name on it.
Yeah.
So I went on Facebook. I followed her on Facebook. I saw that she had a book. I booked my first appointment, and once I booked my first appointment, I went to her. At the time, she was in her, is it okay?
Yep.
She was in her home. And so when I walked in, it was very welcoming. She said she was with her best friend at the time. Mm-hmm. And when I walked in, they both greeted me. I felt very comfortable, very, very welcomed. It just felt like a natural environment. Like, I didn't feel like I had to be somebody that I wasn't.
Yeah.
And so when I sat down, I got my hair done. And I was rushing, but they were doing their job. I had to go to work at the time. And they was like, oh, girl, we're going to get you in and get you out. You going to make it on time.
Yeah.
I sat down. I got up within like an hour. I promise you, it was about an hour. I never had my hair done that quick.
And I'm so,
I had a wash. I had some of everything. I had a wash, retwist, and style. And I'm just very timid about who do my hair. And when I got up, I sat in my car. I looked in my mirror for a good time. I said, oh, yeah, this is who I want to do my hair. She was very welcoming. My hair was done nice, neat, and on time. So I've been going to her ever since. It's been about a year or something. And I love Nikel. She the best,
Yes, I love Paris.
The best to do it. I'm not going to lie.
And so with you being from this area, does having a person as talented and professional as her, does it kind of help you look forward to something here? Yeah,
it do, because I love Nikel's drive. When me seeing how passionate she is, when I come here, I have conversations about, what she doing, and it makes me open up and have conversations about what I want to do in life. And, she inspired me to, just do what I want to do and don't let nobody interfere with it, because you got to be a hustler out here. You got to make your own way. You got to make a way out of no way. You got to have your own vision. You got to be optimistic, open-minded, and just put your heart into whatever you want to do.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I love Nikel. This is my girl. For life.
Yes. I'm trying to tell you.
We locked in, literally locked
in.
I love it.
Yes. But I started at home, and that was scary for me because I didn't know who I was inviting to my house. The only thing that I could do was just pray over my house every morning and ask God to send me the right people. But I did have, you have some people that you just, that's just not your client. And those people, I had to block them. I'm like, everybody ain't for me. Right. But yeah, that was the scariest part about it, being in a new place and having to accept clients in my home with my family. Yeah, that was the scary part. Yeah.
Because you can't accept everybody's energy into you.
No. But at that time, I'm like, I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to believe that God got me, and I'm going to be all right. Yeah. And we were all right.
That faith piece, can't do nothing without it.
Nothing at all. I'm weak without it, but boy, with it, I am strong. Can't tell me I can't do nothing.
Yeah. So, Paris. Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
You go ahead.
Okay. Honestly, do you love Pine Bluff or do you tolerate Pine Bluff?
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both? Okay.
I tolerate Pine Bluff because I've been here for so long, so I know how to just find my way in and out. I know how to move around certain people, but I also love because, like I said, you can grow here if you have your own vision. If you put your best foot forward every day. Like, I go to work every day, and people love when I come to work. Yeah. And that's because it's easy to crack a smile and somebody, to bring somebody some laughter, some joy. You don't have to say nothing outlandish, but just to, see people smile is different, because like she said, people do walk around here every day with a mean mug, and you never know who they really are until you engage with them. And just, you never know what somebody could be going through. Yeah. So every time I go to work, I hit that clock and I tell myself, you're going to get through it. You're going to get your money. You also going to enjoy it, You're not just going to work here. Like, that's but you got to have a money mind. And then when you go to work, a lot of people in Pine Bluff, they just, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home, It's you just don't have, a lot of people don't have that drive. But when I do it with my best foot forward, because you just want to see people in your community smile, laugh a little, live a little bit, and just do what you can. Yeah.
And not be scared to socialize with each other. I'm so scared to socialize with them.
Yeah. What would make you love? Like I love my city.
If everybody, just wasn't so comfortable in where they were and just, want to see Pine Bluff grow, and I just be like, oh yeah, Pine Bluff is trash just because they've heard it all their life. I would love to see people put their own visions. Like, we could have so much going if everybody just got up and don't do what you see everybody else doing. Put your own, touch into something. Mm-hmm. Like Nikel said, we could have so many produce stands. Because just like my papa, he loved to garden. I be telling my papa, you could do a lot with this. For real. He be selling. He do sell. He watermelons and all of those.
Okay, so we're in the summer around.
Yeah, okay. Most definitely.
I'm a look for him too.
Okay, love me a good watermelon.
Me too. But I love Pine Bluff because you have room to be not financially stable as well. So I am a college student, so financing is everything to me right now. So I go to UAPB, the yard.
Some people, they sometimes I think it seems so far fetched that Pine Bluff could be this great city, but it already was before.
I can go for it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Dang. I just wish they just had that same drive they had back then now.
Yes.
Cause like Paris said, everybody is creative and talented. At least on the weekend, everybody come together and have like something for the community where the kids can get to interact and know each other. Like, it's a big part right there. I feel like everybody should have their grills, take their grill out there and whatever type of fun amenities they have at the house, and allow the kids to be kids.
Yeah.
And that's something I seen work at home. They do it every Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, a big community block party. And there's no shooting, there's no fighting in the place where there is stuff like that. But they know that place is sacred. These kids are here.
Right.
So I think that something like that would be nice with Pine Bluff because they party, but you can't have fun with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see events and things like that, but I think they have to be a little bit more consistent. And yes, like this is the place we're going to meet up.
This is our spot. Yeah,
for sure.
That's it.
And Paris, I heard you say, we could have this, we could have that. Mm-hmm. You are a business owner, and what did it take aside from grit? Though I do want you to talk about that grit. Okay. What does it take for you to be a business owner and to bring things to Pine Bluff?
To be honest, to be a business owner, of course, you have to set up all your stuff correctly, your documents, your articles. But you also have to have a goal in mind, not just for your business, but for the community as well. You got to figure out some type of way that you can be impactful, at least to one person.
Yes.
Because one person can help the next person, and that goes on and on.
I want to put a pin in there real quick. Okay. It's vital that you're able to pay your bills.
Right.
But if you go into wanting to open up a business and you only think about me, how do people support me? How can people give me money? Your business is not going to
never be successful.
Prosper. You have to think about the value you can give to other people.
Thanks. When I first started here, I put my business cards at a gas station, and the clients that reached out to me, I gave them loyalty cards. Okay. And I know people was like, she's stupid for giving away free dues. If you know your work is worth it, you would charge. I know my work is worth it. I stand on business, but you also have to market yourself. And because I'm a new face, I'm like, if you come and you sit with me 9 times, your 9th time is free, which is showing them that I care much about their business just as much as they care about me doing their hair. Right. So that was a way that I showed my gratitude to my clients, because if you go to a big corporate company, you're going to see them give out stuff to their clients. Right. So why we can't do the same for people that's helping an individual business? Right. So I feel like it's nothing to accommodate somebody that sold at least $900 into me.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
And I've seen people come here and they'll be like, no, this is no shade or disrespect to anybody, because we're all trying to figure it out. Yeah. But I've seen people come and they have such a me mindset, and then they're like, I tried and it didn't work. But it's like, you tried with the expectation of benefiting yourself only.
That's it.
And everybody, especially in a community like Pine Bluff, people need help.
Yes.
So if they can tell that you don't care about their needs, they're not going to rock with you.
Like, what about me? What about you?
Right.
No, you have to care. It's a mutual relationship. Things go both ways. Like we said, you have to pour into people who pour into you.
Right.
And you ain't going to give you no love if you ain't giving them back.
Right. So, loyalty cards, what other things you think people have to have a business here?
You have to have good marketing tactics. Your business have to be structured, firm. Like I said, I do use a booking site, and I don't do it to be hard. A lot of people like, you got to do all of that, but you have to understand it's both ways. I have to secure this appointment, because if this appointment is already taken by you and you don't show up, it could have been taken by someone else.
Right.
And that's one thing that you have to make sure you do. You can't be nice all the time. You do have to be structured in your business, because if you let them run your business, they will run your business. They will run your business.
They always try to tell you how to run.
Yeah, they're going to tell you how to run your business. But you got to put your big foot down. And you have to let them know, hey, the policy was sent to you at XYZ. You have to stand on your business. Yeah. And you can't expect for everyone to be okay with it.
Right.
You're going to hurt some people's feelings with it, and that's okay. That's just not your client. You can't please everyone. That's another thing. Yeah. Only seek out your people. And there is a such thing as when people say, oh, you only do certain people hair, or you only service certain people, because you can tell a problematic customer from a mile away.
That's so true.
And to be realistic, when you come here and you're doing business, you weed out those problematic customers from the beginning, because you don't want nobody to discourage you.
That is so real.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I do. Leave the problems at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gotta have, I'm not gonna say you gotta have loyalty cards, but you gotta care about who you're serving.
Right.
You got to
reward them in some type of way.
Yeah. And that's psychologically important. Even in school.
Yes.
You have to reward people when they do good things. Sometimes I think Pine Bluff can get in this don't applaud a fish for swimming mentality.
Oh, whatever, applaud me.
Right, for real.
For real.
Right,
everybody want to know that they're appreciated.
Exactly. And when people feel appreciated, they're more likely to stay.
Yes.
So that's so important that people do that. What about mindset? I know you already talked about being determined, but what does that really look like when you're a business owner?
Ugly. It look really ugly. Like, my clients always look better than me. But seriously though, it's not a pretty sight. Like, you'll wake up in the morning and you might not have that drive that you need, but you still have to keep going. You might not do your hair, but you still handling business. Yeah. Sometimes being a business owner, it can be a bit discouraging, but at the same time, you realize that you're doing it for your family. Yes. The whole motion behind it, for me, I have sons. I'm not going to say I can't teach them how to do this, because I can, but I don't know if it's something that they'll be interested in. But I can teach them how to be motivated and believing in themselves. So with them seeing me get up every day, that's motivation alone, because I have 3 kids looking at me and they're like, Mom, you going to work? They know what I do. They know how I do it, why I do it. So I have to make sure that I have a good level head for my kids, for my clients, and just get up and have that drive that one day I'm going to be that person that I'm destined to be.
Yes. And you are.
Yeah.
Like, just talking to you, I'm so glad I finally got to meet you.
Thank you.
I wanted to meet you because I'm like, wow, this person actually moved to Pine Bluff. Mm-hmm. And, TikTok's marketing helped them make that decision.
And you.
Oh, thank you.
And you.
But as I'm meeting you and you're sharing your perspective, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is so encouraging for me. Even I've already been here, but being a business owner, and it's like,
yes,
the challenges and things that you face, you're not alone. You're not crazy for the discouragement that you feel.
I'm telling you, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. But it's so encouraging to know that other people can also feel how you feel and still get the job done.
Seriously.
So thank you for sharing that
Absolutely.
today.
And thank you for sharing your experience. I knew it wasn't going to be all peaches and cream, but you made that obvious too. But
thank you.
The good that you spread was good enough to get me and my family here, and we are doing good.
Thank you so much.
So basically, I think that if people are considering moving to Pine Bluff or considering moving somewhere in general to start like a different change in life, that they should. And I think that Pine Bluff will be a great place for people, as well as small families or business owners that's looking to expand their business, because Pine Bluff has that space for it to be done. There's a lot of vacant buildings, so if you can turn dirt into a rose, and this is definitely the place for you. But of course, you do have to have a great mindset, a vision, and you have to be able to execute it. So I really think that people should consider Pine Bluff because it would not only help you, but it'll also help the community as well.